Hi everyone, welcome back to the 2022-2023 school year. This is Jack Hurley, Superintendent of Schools, with the first edition of Word from the Superintendent. I'm excited about the start of the school year and very excited about the construction that has been going on throughout the district and the renovations that are kind of winding down to being finished and completed. Our buildings are substantially complete, which means we can occupy the buildings, and schools started on time with the renovations still ongoing in many of the buildings. We're planning that probably by late fall, early winter at the latest, this will be completely done, and all of the contractors will be up and gone, and all the punch list items and finishing touches will be put on the building. We are planning to have a video tour of the buildings completed this fall, so that you can take a look at not only the building that your son or daughter may be in, or one that's in your neighborhood, but see all the renovations that were done over the last 3 years following our successful referendum. We are pleased with the aesthetic improvements to the building. Certainly, if you drive by the high school and you see how the facade looks now compared to what it used to look like, or if you go by the additions at Pierpont and Union, and the one at Lincoln that we also put classrooms on, and you take a good look at the way those new buildings blend into the existing buildings, the old buildings, I think you'll see that aesthetically it's added a lot to our community and our school. But we're even more impressed with the functionality, how it has improved the delivery of instruction and services that we can provide our students, how it's helped with overcrowded classrooms, and how it's provided for the community assets like 2 new gyms that can be used for recreation and the arts. So I want to thank you all again for supporting the referendum and for your support during this process. Construction is never easy. It always puts a little extra burden on everyone, faculty, staff, students, parents, makes driving to and from school more difficult, makes functioning every day a little difficult as you're in a construction area. But the decades of value we're going to get from these improvements certainly outweigh the year or two of issues we had dealing with the daily grind of construction. I'm also pleased to announce that our state county monitoring that took place last year, CUSAC it's called, has designated the district as a high-performing district, which is the highest designation given by the Department of Education. That monitoring covered all aspects of our school and our district, from curriculum, test scores, to buildings, facilities, budget, operations, board operations, policies, everything soup to nuts was covered by the monitors, and we came out with the highest possible rating. So again, thank you all for your support, and congratulations to all of you and all of us who contribute to make this district outstanding. For the last several years, we've had to deal with a pandemic, and last year, COVID moved into an endemic stage. So that kind of changes how we have to respond to it, and I think this year will be as much of a normal year as we've had in the last few. Once again, we urge you to stay home for any time you're not feeling well. You shouldn't come to school sick. We also are reminding you that if your child is positive for COVID, there's still a requirement that you report that to your school nurse, because we do want to monitor to make sure there isn't any increase in the number of cases. However, your child can now return to school 5 days after he is ill on the 6th day, provided he is symptom and fever free, much like you can with any malady that you may come down with. Once you're symptom or fever free, after a certain amount of time, you come back to school. There is no longer the requirement to do quarantining for anyone who's been exposed as a close contact. Therefore, there'll be no more contact tracing and no need for quarantining if you're exposed, whether in school or out of school. But if you are, it always makes sense for you or your child to monitor yourself to make sure no symptoms arise. We're looking forward to the return to normalcy, but as we did last year, if you're more comfortable with masks, masks are optional in all of our buildings and in all of our activities. When you go to back to school night, and I encourage all of you to come to back to school night, The dates for back to school night will be sent to you by your school and can be found on school calendars. I'll be addressing that night some updates on traffic safety around the schools and also our school security. So please look to that video the night at back to school night for that information. But I do want to remind everyone, as a mad rush to get back to school and we try to get used to the new routine, to please adhere to all traffic regulations, drop off and pick up points around the schools so that we get our school year off to a safe start. I also encourage you to look at the school calendar and information that comes home with your child from school about school activities. We have, as always, a full array of activities in the arts, in athletics, in academic events, in evening programs, parent academy programs, and the like. So please pay attention to what's on the calendar and participate with us and continue to form this partnership with us by attending some of these events. And that bell is not for me to end. I'm in a school filming this, but it is coming to the end of my report. I just want to encourage all of you to form that partnership, collaborate with us, because working together we can make a really great year for our students. And I'm looking forward to an outstanding school year. So until next time, this is Jack Hurley, the Superintendent of Schools. Let's have a great start to the school year, and I'll see you back here in October.